Actually,
Admiral Bonaparte High Stepper, and I am the Master of Ceremonies for tonight's 166th annual charity ball brought to you by our good friend Baron Munchausen.
By proxy.
We will be, we have entered into what I find is the most entertaining point of the charity bowl. We've had our dances, we've had our feast, and now we have adjoined to the royal court to allow them to tell tales of adventure, of scoundrelry, of excitement, and we have assembled some of the finest members of the Baron's peerage here tonight to do so. The process of playing these, telling these tales shall go thusly. Each member of the royal court has a cupful of coins in front of them.
You can't have my coins.
At the end of the night, whomever so shall have the most amount of coins shall be crowned king of the Baron's balls.
Oh, yeah.
And they shall wear this title until such time as we meet again and have an entirely new round of storytelling. The Baron, though he is not here in body, he is here in spirit, and he's entrusted me with some of his favorite stories that each member of the royal court can tell. So I will ask a member of the court to tell that story, and they will do so. They will have approximately 5 minutes to do so. You do not need to take the entire time if it is a story of brevity and wit. But whenever your story is completed, you declare an oath that this story is true, I swear it, or my name is not, and then you insert your name. Your name.
how's that gonna go for you?
Depends how many drinks.
My name
You're gonna need another 5 minutes.
Now, during the story, the telling of the story, other members of the royal court, who of course are attuned to the gossip and legends that flow through the Baron's peerage, may wish to seek clarification about certain points on the story. In which case, they will take one of the coins from their cup. I will approach them with the microphone, and they will ask for that clarification, such as, but dear Baron, I was to understand that you were, while you were romancing the Queen of the Moon, that you were also involved with the Lady of the Sun. How did you manage such a strange assignation? The storyteller can then either choose to incorporate that detail into their story, in which case they accept the coin that was offered, or they may offer a coin of one of their own back to the person who offered the detail, also with a slight insult because they have interrupted your time in your story. Should you wish, the royal court may, you may interrupt and raise the stakes up to 3 coins before you can. You must cede the point. Unfortunately, we eliminated dueling at the 47th annual Baron's Ball, as all of the members came down with a slight case of death. Now, those here in the audience can also affect the outcome of this phase of the ball. We are raising money tonight for an LGBTQ plus outreach center here in Madison.
Yes.
Donations that you give to me will be passed on to that organization, whilst the coins that I give to you can be tipped into each of the cups for the members. And the costs are thus: at the basic level, if you donate $10, you gain 1 coin to use. If you donate $20, you gain 3 coins to use. If you donate $50, you gain 5 coins that you must give to one member of the court, but they then must raise a toast to another member of the court who will receive 3 coins.
Ooh.
Should you wish to hear a particular story of the Baron's travails, you may donate $60. And at $100, you may ask your own story to one of the Royal Court members, subject to the approval of me as Master of Ceremonies, as we do not wish we wish to make sure that the story is of proper decorum, as there are ladies present, and also to make sure that nobody attempts to ask one of the Royal Court members to do a version of the Aristocrats. So,
I'm just gonna let y'all know if there's anybody doing the Aristocrats,
It's the kobold.
this guy.
I will quickly introduce our members, and then I will get the first story going. If you wish to make a donation, you may raise your hand like a peasant, and I will collect your donation. We are accepting cash donations. We are also accepting Venmo and PayPal donations. Credit cards are unfortunately the tool of the unwashed masses, and we do not accept this sort. So,
We have people for those things.
from left to right, we have Captain Thunderfluff.
General.
I'm sorry?
General.
General Thunderfluff of the Unicorn Squad.
Congratulations.
We have Count Von Count.
Count discount bond count. Thank you very much.
Oh dear, I have to flog my boy. I apologize. Then we have
Not here.
Leonard Lawful d'Olivier. We have Dame Witchbury Cantaloupe, the 37th Duchess of New Derby, Hertfordshire. I see it's short of time. Then we have Ood Kalinsky, our strange American cousin.
Got her.
Then we have Dame
I've been knighted since last we met.
Dame Theodora Munchausen
The third.
the third.
Oh, are you part of the military?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Then we
Well, yeah, that's why I asked.
Sir Dave the Giant. As you can see, he's wearing a normal human-sized breastplate. And then we have Captain Crunch, no relation. Then we have the most esteemed Lady Euphigenia du Montaigne Bennett.
Charmed.
Enchanté. And last but certainly least, ladies and gentlemen, Yeet the Kobold.
Yeet. Yes, thank you.
All right.
Got a name or instruction?
I believe General Thunderfluff will
Oh.
ask you the first story of the evening.
Of course you will. It'll be the most entertaining.
Let me just quickly sort through my correspondence from.
I have clerks that do that for me. You should have that done for you as well.
Yes. The Baron would like to hear how you discovered that your manservant was secretly the Emperor of Prussia and what you did about it.
Well, you see, being the general, I have control of all of the forces of the Doomcorn nation. So, I had suspicions about the private that was taking care of all my things. Some people could call him a manservant. Some people don't, whatever. They all do the same thing. They clean things, whatever. So, I had my spies take a look into the background of this certain private. I'm sorry. We don't have pirates.
The hell you talking about?
Officially, we don't have pirates. Look into this pirate, and it turns out this private had an amazingly long lineage that happened to go into the kingdom of Prussia. I went private. Why do you have such a long lineage? And he said, "What are you talking about, General?" And I said, "Your lineage is so long. Why is it so long?" And he said, "I have no idea what you're talking about, General." And I said, yes, you do. Don't be shy about it. Everyone. Well, some people have long lineages. I have a long lineage. Do you? And eventually that went back and forth for a few times. And he eventually was crying and pleading and saying, no, don't kill me, General. I'm royalty of Prussia. It was quite interesting. And then he got up off of his knees, stopped crying, because, I mean, I am intimidating. Who wouldn't be intimidated by this? And we had a lovely drink about it. And now we play chess on Thursdays. It's quite lovely. His name is Ralph.
And do you swear this tale to be true?
I swear this tale to be true.
Or your name is not?
Oh, my name is not General Thunderfluff of the Dumacorn Brigade.
Huzzah! There you go. I assumed that tale was rather truthful, as nobody decided to interrupt or clarify. If they should do so, please hold the coin that you wish to use high so that I may see it, as I do not have my spyglass with me. It was confiscated at the airport.
Yes, please do. Let me know if you'd like to interrupt me.
Let's move on to our next member of the royal court, Countess Count von Count.
Countess, it's so nice to meet you.
So wonderful to meet you, General.
The Baron would like to know how you invented the national dish of Italy.
Oh, so first off, let me tell you that I am amazing in the kitchen. Fractions, I'm amazing at ratios, absolutely. So when I was cooking one day, and I had my servant mixing all of this stuff, I had this wonderful idea that I was going to invent the national dish of, was it Italy?
Yes.
Italy. I had this wonderful idea. I was like, oh, I could do this. I've cooked one dish today. Ha ha ha. 2 dishes today. Ha ha ha. 3 dishes today. Ha ha ha. Surely a 4th wouldn't cause me any trouble at all. So I went to my servant and I said, servant, you need to gather up all of these ingredients. And I gave them not 1 list, ha ha ha. Not 2 lists, ha ha ha. But 3 lists of materials that I needed to cook this dish. And after they, ooh.
I did hear that they gave you all the wrong ingredients and it ended up being a very poisonous dish.
So,
Is that true?
that is true. It ended up being a very, very, very poisonous dish, which is why I was really glad I tested it on my servants. But, you know, it didn't stop at just the 1 servant, ha ha ha. It went to the 2nd servant, ha ha ha. The 3rd servant, ha ha ha. And finally at the 4th servant, I went, this is probably not the dish, right? I want to present as, you know, no. So I ended up going out myself, and you know, there's this, it's just wonderful. Uh-oh.
Surely, Countess Count von Count, you could recall all of the names of all of the dishes in proper Italian.
That one I actually would like to, but it seems that I am tongue-tied on that.
Mi parola italiana.
Mi ti.
Si?
So-
No. Si. Oui.
Provincia de Aquila.
So I went on and I went and gathered the stuff myself. It was so quaint, you know? It was just nice to go roaming around at the wherever it is that people go and shop for things. I don't actually know the name of it.
I believe there's a garden of olives. Is that
Yeah, there's absolutely a garden of olives.
When you are there, you are family.
And they absolutely treated me like family. I went off and I grabbed my ingredients, and then they did things like cheer me on and say, hey, you forgot to pay for that.
Countess, I
Yes.
believe you ate the bottomless soup and breadsticks while you were there so much that you couldn't leave.
I did. The bottomless soup and breadsticks were amazing. I had no idea such quaint food tasted so well. I mean, it is just wonderful to see all of the wholesome things like breadsticks. Have you ever had a breadstick?
No.
You wouldn't move after eating one either. I wanted to stay there all night. So,
What was the dish anyway?
so I would say my dish ended up being tacos. Because I ended up running out of time after spending all of my time at the Garden of Olives.
I am pretty positive the national dish of Italy is ragu alla bolognese,
Ooh. Well, you know what?
which is not a taco. I'm not saying that you're alive, but you are definitely
Lying.
incorrect.
You are actually ill-informed of the history of the national dish of Italy, because it started out as tacos. And then what ended up happening was those tacos ended up transforming.
Oh my.
30 seconds.
Give some time.
One final interruption.
But surely, if you claim to have invented the national dish of Italy as being tacos, how did that quite have a long history of being the national dish of tacos?
Funny you should ask that, because every other dish before mine was wrong. They had not one dish, ha ha ha, not two dishes, ha ha ha, but three dishes, ha ha ha, that were wrong before mine. The tacos were right, and they were right for the time.
And this story is true.
This story is true, or my name isn't Countess Count von Count.
Zaz!
Shall we move on to
No.
Lucian? Are you ready to
Oh, yeah.
Leonardo.
Yes, we must move on.
Leonardo, I'm terribly sorry. I was thinking about your twin brother that I had killed. All right. Oh. Just a moment, sir. The Baron would like to know how you accidentally executed the King of Norway.
I'll open a beer for this shit.
Servant, please present the ears of Eke as per request, and I will indulge you with my tale. In the meanwhile, I'm Leonardo, and you asked me the question of how I was to execute.
You accidentally executed the King of Norway. You remember this,
Of
obviously.
course,
You obviously remember.
Story multiple times.
having been from the Olivier area of Italy, I finished my delicious national dish of tacos. And I was on my way to this lovely, quaint trading place, Estonia.
Oh, they have lovely vodka there.
When my boat was en route, and you see the tacos have this thing of disagreeing with me, and I needed to stop for a potty break. And as I did so, the only closest place we're at was the Kingdom of Norway.
Leonardo,
Of course.
I'll switch the money up forward here because I believe what you are discussing is when you had to run for the border
Oh,
of
yeah.
Norway. Because there was a bell. I would like to hear more about
Well, what you
your
don't
taco
realize,
bell.
what you don't realize is that the bell was a misconception, you see.
Oh, a
because
misconception.
The bell was the ringing toll of the peasants and the militia of the Swedish armies invading. And the Swedes were charging in with berry shields and all. And I was caught in the middle, you see, lightly wiping my body. The burn was real and rich. The tacos from Italy. La Familia de Aquila. And the king was so afraid of the sweetest berries rolling downhill like my shit. The king was so afraid he was also on the other side of the tree. I mistook it as a very angry seed. And I was in my own.
A rumor has it, dear, whatever your name is,
Leonardo
Leonardo
de Olivier.
de Farquaad. Rumor has it wasn't an execution. It was a fornication.
Accidental fornication.
I mean,
Humongous in us.
interesting.
This opportunity to
Tell
reveal
us
the truth of the
more.
matter. I would like to give a simple donation to the LGBTQ+. Just a simple one, because you see, you're right. The King of Norway and I had a dastardly love affair. Behind a tree.
How long was his lineage?
We didn't have enough time to finish reading it. Before that bastard Swede interrupted, which, in fact, turned into I believe the country below Norway calls it the menage a trois. And from there, the truth of the matter is that I did not actually kill the King of Norway. You see, because many moons ago, it was taboo to be normal. And so the king asked me to fake his death so that we could live out our lives in love as we sailed to Estonia. And then the bastard left me
Estonia does have
for
lovely
a
vodka.
beautiful Estonian man. And this, I swear, is true. Or my name is not Leonardo Lawful de Olivier.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Put him back. Put him back. Put him back. Put him back. Put him back.
The next member of the royal court. However, Leonardo, it has been requested that you give a toast.
A toast.
A toast.
A toast.
You pick up who on the rope are you toast.
It's too heavy. I can't lift it.
I would like,
Try
Thank you.
eating
Thank you.
it.
I would like to firstly present a toast to the lovely audience out there for your support in
Yes.
everything that is of love.
Huzzah!
And then secondly, to our illustrious host of hosts for all of the efforts and for inviting me to embarrassing myself in such a liberating way. Thank you. Lastly, as I must choose one of you, your name again, my dear.
Me?
Yes.
The most esteemed Lady Euphigenia de Montaigne Bennett.
I would like to make the toast to the most esteemed Lady Euphigenia.
And some other words.
De Montaigne Bennett.
Esquire. What's that? Huzzah!
Huzzah.
All right, there you go.
Oh,
Thank you.
Yes, yes, of course. Now we shall move to our next lovely member of the royal court, and that is, of course, the lovely dame. Now, the Baron.
Was it as good for you as it was for me?
I mean, the King of Norway is still talking about it, so.
Dame Winterberry Cantaloupe the 37th, Duchess of Newberry Hall. We would love to know how you invented the tomato.
I'm just letting everybody know ahead of time that I'm pushing this forward, and the word is honeydew. I don't know when yet, but it's coming.
This kobold is rude.
That's the highest kobold I've ever met, milady.
That is the first kobold I have met, I will assure you. However,
Dear Leonardo is literally falling apart in this story.
I lost my olive.
While you're down there, Leonardo, would you mind?
that he would eat that olive at the end of all of this. So I am going to hold him to that.
Leonardo,
Nobleman man of honor.
Leonardo, while you're down there, would you care to pretend that I'm the king of Norway?
I got that one. I
As you
got
fell
that
off.
one. That was funny.
The general. And you can just call me sir.
I recall the time that I invented the tomato,
Oh.
which is the correct pronunciation of tomato.
Shall we all say that together?
Tomato.
And you see, the ripe plum tomato is actually grown on the moon of Io. And when I took my rocket ship up to Io, it was not actually to invent the tomato and discover its properties to create this juicy, plump, delicious fruit, did you know? But instead, I was on the hunt for a...
Excellent.
I heard that it actually wasn't a fruit, but it was the toe of a tomat.
Well, actually,
Can I just?
that
give
is
him a high
an
five?
old
Can I get a high five?
rumor before I made this journey because, in fact, the tomat was a creature of ancient times that used to roam the lands. But although people used to put it in their salads, it was considered a fruit. So when the tomato was introduced by me and invented by me, I actually did say, I'm going to put seeds in this thing
Yes.
so that I could
No,
keep
no, I
the
was just
rumor
trying to-
alive that it is a fruit. However, when I reached the moon of Jupiter, I discovered that instead of finding the seeds that I needed to mix to create the perfect hybrid, it was guarded by these strange tentacled creatures. And I took
Yes,
these tentacles.
Yes, you have this strange tentacle creatures called honeydews.
Yes, indeed.
Cantaloupe.
They were called honeydews, but the honeydews were really from one faction on the dark side of the moon that fought with the light side faction, which were the honeydon'ts. And then that I was able to take them and rip each tiny sucker from each tentacle and plant them into the supple, fertile grounds of the moon.
Are we coming up?
Heard that between the honeydews and the honeydoe, you can only have two at one time?
You cannot, that is not true. You can have both because what that creates is something of a paradox. And when you have a paradox, you actually have two, and I understand that. But the dox is what the problem is. When you dox something, you bring about the truth to the public, sometimes not in ways that everybody wants it to happen. And then you actually discover multiple facts about the subject. And so, with the honeydews and the honeydon'ts, after this rivalry was over, they actually mated with each other. And that is how I finally had the last part of the equation that I added to each sucker to create the perfect seed of the tomato. And I swear that this story is true, or my name is not Dame Winterberry, Cantaloupe the 37th, Duchess of New Derby, Hertfordshire.
Before we get to the next story, Dame, you've been requested to make a toast.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
You can't make toast out of tomatoes.
I would love to present a toast to my very brand new friend Yeet.
Oh no.
Thank you
is
so
it rye
much.
toast?
It is
Sourdough?
it is actually a very heavily rye pumpernickel toast. And it is to you, Yeet. I know we have just met. I am quite sure that it is from your long lineage that I received this wonderful fur.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you sound like.
I'm up for the challenge. It's going to take a while, but we'll see what can be done. I appreciate your cash money. Thank you.
All right, let's move on to our next member of the royal court, Ood.
Hey.
The bearer would like to hear the story
Oh, sure.
of your torrid affair
Yeah.
with the ghost of Anne Boleyn.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was a hot one. Oh, sure.
Oh,
I
for
tell
sure,
you.
yeah.
You know, the first problem was we had to have her killed, you know. I tell you, it's not so easy killing somebody who's been dead that goddamn long. And then when we had her killed, after, you know, we got her killed, she was, you know, pretty damn dead. What? She, oh, you know, she came up haunting me so many goddamn times, you know. And eventually I just said, hey, you know, actually, when you don't come around, I kind of miss your face.
What are you doing Friday night?
Exactly. So unfortunately,
Food.
yeah,
I heard that the first time that she ever came and haunted you, you were in your ice shanty fishing.
oh, sure. Yeah, that was after we killed her, you know. We put her in the bottom of the lake. Right?
Stop!
Oh, you know, the best bait you can use is really, you know, old mistress's toes, as we were talking about. So, yeah, she came up and she was just screaming like a banshee out of that ice hole. She called me the worst ice hole I was ever called. No, she was a wonderful lady, but she was, she just was, she screamed so loud, she scared all the fishes away. And I was like, this is going to be the worst time ever. But, you know, eventually, she started to cry a little bit, and I'm sad. I felt bad for her. So I said, I can hold you for a little bit here. And we really became close about this.
Yes.
Dear Ood,
Yeah.
I actually heard it wasn't Anne Boleyn, but it was Anne Borden.
Oh, you mean Lizzie's little sister?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, you know, she was one of the ones that Lizzie killed with the axe. So, after she gave her 40 whacks. And, you know, it was just, the thing is that there was actually both of them, right? Because the two ghosts.
Yes,
It's
the
so-
menage.
Once you start finding a ghost you can love, the other ghosts start saying, hey, you know, I've not had that kind of affection for a long time.
So it was a menage a ghost.
You know, it started with just the two of them, the three of us, but then it goes and it goes and it goes.
Menage a trois.
Oh, no.
Take off the hat, you're fired.
What are you doing Friday night?
Are you willing to become a ghost?
So, you know,
I'll try
the
anything
ladies, they really like me. You know, I take them out to the hunts, I take them out to shacks, I take them out to the ice fishing holes, you know, anywhere around. We go and get ourselves some good pasties, you know. We wander around the North Woods and eventually.
What are these pasties you speak of?
Oh, they're the best food. They're like a pizza except flat, you know.
But I thought pizzas were.
I heard that one of your trysts was in this thing called an outhouse.
Oh, there's the outhouse and there's the in-house and it's the in and the outhouse and the out and the in-house. Yeah, it's, we don't got a lot of electricity and indoor plumbing there. So, so a lot of times, especially in the cold nights, you have to trudge out into the snow and there's 30 feet of snow up in the air. And you have to work your way out to the outhouse. And digging your way out to the outhouse is really a pain. But those ghost ladies, they really help with that. They're really good.
30 seconds.
And I, Odd Kalinsky, do swear that this is true. The story is true, or my name is not Odd Kalinsky.
I expect, Ood, that you
Ood, Odd.
not expecting to be outed as a ghost fucker here. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
It gets really-
No judgment.
No king shaming. No king
Bonus,
shaming.
yes.
It gets really lonely out there.
Think of all the plasma.
Before we get to our next story, dear Dane, you have been requested to make yet another toast.
Another toast.
Yo.
Of course I shall. My fair giant.
Hi.
I would like to present a toast to you because you are so large and mighty.
Thank you. I know most of you can't even see around me, but I tried to throw up as much as I
Around
could.
you, I can see around you quite well.
That's just under me.
That's what she
To
said.
my friend the giant, what is your name again?
Dave.
It's so short, I could not remember. Today, the giant. Surely you are the largest among us.
Dave.
Huzzah.
Dave.
May your lineage be as long.
Dave.
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 Dave. Dave. Dave. Dave.
This is not the Baron's rave. That's next week.
That's
Oops,
Rave.
Rada.
Rave.
Favrissimo.
Now, dear Miss Dame Theodora Munchwhistle, the third, we would like to know
Fresh start.
how you caused the Pope to parade naked through the crowded streets of Vienna.
I mean, who hasn't?
So,
It ain't that hard.
true, it was not that hard, but, it's still a great tale, and the Baron loved it when I told this one. So, there I was. I found myself in Vienna, as you do, as a knight of the realm. And I was staying at this quaint little inn down the road from where the Pope was staying, as I later discovered. And we were carousing. late.
Excuse me, dear Dame.
Well, actually,
Yes, General.
I heard that the Pope stays in the Vatican City.
Oh, he does that. I'm getting there, you see. He was staying in the Vatican. But,
No, the Vatican City.
city, yes.
It's its own country in and of itself.
Certainly.
Yes.
So he was there, as you said, in the Vatican City.
Hashtag.
And I was in Vienna, and he heard that I was in town. So he did, in fact, come out in the little Pope mobile. We've all seen the thing, right? It's got the big windows and everything.
Yep,
So
those
there
are
he
very,
was.
very bulletproof.
Yes. But with the hat, I'll tell you about. I
That
got to
is
wear
not
the hat
bulletproof.
later that night, so there we were. So there I was, at the bar, drinking and thinking.
About the Pope?
And as we continued to carouse, the door bust open, and there was the bright white light of the Pope mobile, because it's got little lights on the front, I think.
So, dear
Jesus.
Dame, Dame, right? It was Dame, correct?
I was knighted since last we met.
Oh, then why aren't you knight?
Because,
Where in Scotland are you exactly?
Edinburgh.
Isn't that Ireland?
No.
Are you sure?
I. So there I was, the lights of the Pope mobile coming through the big wooden doors. And the Pope, he steps out of the mobile, as it were.
Wouldn't that just be a car at this point?
No, because it's got the big glass windows and it's the lights and everything.
Those are bulletproof, you know.
Oh, we found out that it was bulletproof later, I'll tell you.
No, they know it's bulletproof because they did it afterwards.
Oh, Jesus.
Jason.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I mean, so all of this talk of the Pope mobile and the glass and the light, I'm assuming we're talking about like a thing that hangs from the sky and you like hit it with your hand, right?
Yes, and it spins very quickly.
I just want to explain, I want you to explain to everyone how the Pope fits in this
Yes.
hanging device.
Well, you see,
I'm
he's got...
saying the Pope's a pinata.
No, he's got
The
an
Pope-
actual... It's a ring, you see, and when he twists it, he shrinks. And he can fit inside of the mobile, and he likes to do it because it makes him dizzy. There we were. The Pope came flying in.
Surely, as the Pope was in the mobile,
Aye.
Italian pronunciation
Aye.
of those words,
The
he
Pope.
was eating the national dish of. I want to ask you,
The taco shrimp.
what is the properly, or everything the Pope touches is blessed?
Aye.
What is the proper papist blessing in proper Italian? Taco.
I lost the thing.
Taco del Torre. El Bicite. Del Toro Taco. El Yum.
Mexicana.
Pronunciation is yum.
Yeah.
Yum.
Jesus
I
fucking
thank you
Christ.
for certificating me. You see, we from Scotland often don't.
In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti taco.
Yeah, Deo thanks tacos.
Taco.
So there I was. The Pope came flying in the spinning lit mobile. And he hopped off. Mobile. And he hops off of it, right? Because he'd heard out of town. So there he is, tiny Pope standing on the bar, right? So now it's blessed, the bar. And he spins the ring and he becomes large, but his clothing, you see, because we're coming back to that part, didn't grow with him.
Christ, you done yet?
So there he was in all his glory, in all his glory. And so we danced down the street because he needed to go and find more
How
clothes.
long was his lineage?
Oh, it was long.
Wait, which Pope are we talking about?
Right down the end of his Italian boot. I mean,
So there we were. And my yes, I swear this story is true, or my name is not. Oh my God, I forgot my name.
How's the purr?
Huzzah!
Huzzah!
She was recently knighted, you know.
huzzah!
Now, Sir Dave the Giant.
Dave. Nice.
I'm so sorry.
Dave.
The crowd would like to know how you were the true author of Mozart's Requiem.
Oh.
You see, with my great stature, I was tramping through the countryside.
Isn't it true that you were actually the director? Sorry, I'm the general. Isn't it true that you're actually the director, the first director of Requiem for a Dream?
Oh yes, both happened simultaneously, actually. It started out as
I don't
tramping
want to
through the
know what
countryside.
happens when you. No, I can't even say it. I can't even say
Piano
it.
to piano. Keyboard to keyboard.
When I came across the manufacturer of the pianos, I didn't know it at the time. I thought it would be shoes. So I attempted to slide my feet into these nice long wooden boxes, right? But my toenails were so long they kept plucking these little keys. And as I was
Fucking
walking around,
disgusting, Dave.
people kept following me, dancing
That
and
is.
commenting on how beautiful my noise was. And as I was,
Sir Dave,
Daddy.
Sir Dubby, isn't it true? There's a special cheese that comes from under your toenails.
Why?
oh,
Why?
of course.
Why would you do this to us? That's just not necessary.
Again, with the massive size, it collects the debris as I'm wearing
Can I
these
just
open-toed
throw this at the damn
shoes.
ticket to not ask any more fucking questions?
Was that a question
Yeah.
point? Okay. Sorry. So the debris actually gathers underneath my toenails. And as I'm walking around, it drops behind me. So these dancers who are following me and listening to my beautiful music being tapped on by my toenails,
It's no longer tasty.
they just kept eating it, and I couldn't tell why.
Well, you
It
still
wasn't until
look
way
tasty.
later that they told me about
I mean, what?
cheese that was happening. But then they started feeling really ill,
Yes.
and I kept trying to figure out why. But you see, they were all falling asleep and dreaming, and they kept talking about this requiem thing. So I don't know what this requiem for a dream is, but I definitely made it. And this was true, or my name isn't Dave.
All right.
Now, bang.
Huzzah.
Next up, Captain Crunch. No
Yeah.
relation. Crunch. The question that the Baron wishes to ask of you is your encounter with the ghost ship, the Flying Dutchman, and what strange cargo it carried.
All right, so the weird thing is that I'm actually from Brooklyn. A lot of people don't know, but there's pirates in the Atlantic as well. So
I've heard there's islands in the Atlantic as well.
yeah, it's like a Fojo. It's like Fiji, but it's in it's the Atlantic. So anyway, Flying Dutchman comes along, and I'm like, "What are you doing here? It's the Atlantic. This is where New York is. What are you? Yeah, aren't you fucking landlocked?" So anyway, it gets over here, and I get on the ship, and I kill its captain. Oh, what?
I mean, one, the Dutch are on the Atlantic. They're literally on the Atlantic. Why? They're not landlocked. They're famously waterborne people.
Oh, sure, they are now.
And you're from Brooklyn, which was founded by the Dutch.
Look, I'm only using the map they gave me.
Which apparently has an ocean we've never heard of, called the non-Atlantic.
Maybe I
I'm
don't know.
just giving you money so I can complain about the historical inaccuracies. Move along, Brooklyn,
If
move
you like
along.
money, I'll fucking tell more wrong shit. So anyway, I killed the Dutchman on the famously not landlocked Dutch.
They're kind of on that.
And then I fucking go down into his area.
Go on,
I
go on.
followed his long lineage down to his area to find his
Go
crunch
on.
berries.
I go into the Dutchman's undercarriage.
What was his lineage like?
It was, I got like a 3. And I think he was more like a 22. And, I found his royal jewels,
Excellent.
which were, haunted by this Anne Boleyn chick he was banging.
Oh, that girl, she got around.
I swear this story is true, or else my name is not Captain Crunch, no relation.
Yeah. Crunch berries.
I believe it is time for Lady Eugenia.
Euphigenia.
Yes.
Right.
Euphigenia.
All right.
I can have a bit of help. You can call me Euphy.
Yeah.
No, you say. You say. You call me Euphy.
You fat.
What would you say?
You vagina.
Look, why do you think I want?
Wait,
people to
why
call
are we
me
talking about
Ukraine?
vagina?
Chief vagina.
The Baron would like to know
Oh.
how you claimed Neptune for the British Empire.
Oh, fine. All right, look. So this was about 15 or so years ago, and I decided that it was going to be a really good idea for me to just like go to space, right? Because nobody had ever done it before or something. And so I decided I wanted to see how far I could go. So I had a really nice spaceship, and I just thought that it would be really, really cool if I just like, I don't know, if I just went as far as I could, right? So, so there I was going past Mars and Jupiter and Saturn and whatever. Wait, no, what?
It's Uranus. The word you're looking for is Uranus.
No, Uranus is actually.
By the way, it's famously landlocked.
Point for that one. Yeah. Give me the point.
Matter of fact, one of the patrons is donating a coin for your lecture on historical.
But yeah, whatever. Uranus, whatever. And so I got past there and I got to Neptune and I landed on it and it was like really cold, right? Yes, Sir Dave or Sir Dave, whichever you prefer.
I heard that you actually borrowed one of the general's minions as space travel.
Which general?
The
Fluff
unicorn.
and stuff.
Oh. Yeah, I did actually, because what I've heard about like unicorn horns is that they're really good at providing fuel for space travel.
I'm sorry, what are they good for?
Lineage. They're good for lineage.
Yeah, you know, unicorns have famously long lineages.
I mean,
And
yes.
so it was the unicorn horn that actually helped me get to Neptune. And then when I got there, it was so cold, right? And I thought that, you know, the Brits don't really know what weather is.
I'm sorry, you vagina.
You
Traveled to the moon, Io. I do know about space travel, and I wonder, how did you breathe on Neptune? What is the scientific composition
I can answer for that.
of the various gases of the air in Neptune?
Well, I figure it's got to be at
Let's
least.
do
Yeah, I think it's got to be at least 50% oxygen, right? Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to breathe at all.
it. Do you think
Actually.
so, or is it? I need to know with certainty.
Pretty certain it's at least 50% oxygen because I didn't bring anything with me on my trip to Neptune. So it's so cold on Neptune, right? That I figured that like since the Brits don't really know what. Oh my goodness!
So you're saying 50% oxygen. I'm pretty positive that a breathable atmosphere for us human people is actually only 21.5% oxygen at best, and mostly actually made of nitrogen.
But can you say
do-
that again? Yeaty's over here yeeting up a storm.
What the hell did I tell you about being koboldy?
I believe that, the general was just curious as to what the second most
Oh well.
prestigious element in the atmosphere is.
Well, yeah, no, you're right. It's like nitrogen in it, isn't it? Yeah, no, you're right. It's nitrogen. So at 50% oxygen, it's like 30% nitrogen, and then it's like, and then it's like 20% hydrogen, which is why you still get rain sometimes because the hydrogen and the oxygen combine, and then that's where you get the water, right? And then also that's where you get the rain, which the Brits are so used to. So I figure that like it could be a really good place for like, you know, Queen Elizabeth, may she rest in peace. This was 15 years ago, so she's still alive then. Yeah. Oh yeah, 30 seconds, absolutely. But yeah, I figured it'd be a really good place for Queen Elizabeth to retire once she finally decided to pretend to die for the rest of us. So I saved it for her, and she's not actually dead. She's on Neptune, right? And I swear that this story
With
is
Tupac?
true. Yes, absolutely, with Tupac, absolutely. And I swear this story is true. Oh, my name is not the most esteemed Lady Euphigenia de Montaigne Bennett.
You vagina.
Youth vagina?
Vagina of
Some
youth.
people do say I've got a beautiful vagina.
Two you upon the stage here. I'd like to know a man
8 times.
in Dublin has a contract stating that he owns your right leg.
Dublin.
I actually don't have any legs, so that's a really weird statement.
Well, I mean,
I literally don't have it.
well, I mean, this is probably half the reason
Yeah,
why you
this
ain't
is
got
weird.
legs in it.
It's weird.
That's 'cause he's
But I
bad
mean,
for-
I can talk about that guy in Dublin. His name was it's probably Patty, because that's
Oh, I know.
he and I went drinking.
Ass fucking racist.
I mean, it is, but it's also accurate.
I mean, I didn't say it wasn't true.
Me and Patty, so what happened is this: we got a little wrecked, and then we got this handicab, like the handsome cab, like the guy has some really pretty horses, and then they have a thing behind it. And we got in it, and he was like, "Yo, do you boys like the whiskey?" And we were like, "Yeah, we do." And then he was like, "Have you ever had?" Yes.
I heard it wasn't horses though. I heard that it was snails.
Snails? I mean, I mean, are we talking about the things that are 15 times my size with a very long lineage and sometimes have bells associated with them? Or are you talking about the things that are about half my size and have their own home attached to the back of them that are part of condo associations? The ones that are like slugs,
Yeah, the
but
ones that are slugs.
with
exactly.
attitude, like
Yeah.
gentrified slugs.
Exactly. Yeah, proper slugs.
No slugs.
They were horses. Or were they? So there was it was a handsome cab with 3,000 snails. And it took us 14 years to get to the back.
14 years?
Yeah. Nice. Good callback. It took us 14 years, but he took us to this place to get whiskey, which turned out was literally all of Ireland. So I'm still actually there right now. And I declare that this is completely true, or my name isn't.
Huzzah!
Theodore requests that you give a toast, and that will end our first round of our.
A toast, you say?
Yes.
You have to stand for a toast, but I kind of can't, so I'm not.
No.
No, damn.
My chair's landlocked.
Everything's fucking landlocked.
Damn Dutch chairs!
First, I thank you for allowing me to give a toast. And I'd like to give a toast to the Countess von Count. May her reign last long as her lineage.
How many toasts are you giving her?
17.
One toast.
Huzzah!
Huzzah. Actually,
All right,
counting.
ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen, thus ended the first round of the charitable organization. Please give a round of applause to you. We shall return in just a few moments for round number 2 to give you a chance to refresh, utilize
A privy.
privy, and also for those of you in the audience who wish to make donations ahead of time, so that if you want to preload and have points at the ready, should the second round just
What?
Thank you all for coming, and
Yeah.
Shall be back.
Red Bull and Bear now.
All right.
Thank you.
I will stretch my legs.
Right. Hello.
Your life.
I think the porter is the last one left.
Yeah, the other two are.
Stop.
You're trying to
You
call.
stop. You stop.
Brian.
You
Brian, yeah.
stop.
Yeah, get that son of a bitch back here.
Beer root.
Ooh.
Oh, I need to put my gloves on. I'm not in character without gloves.
So you're talking about Mike Thompson. Hollywood Thompson.
Hollywood is Brian.
These are necessary.
Yeah, he's all like,
Somewhere in the furs of my furs. I asked Devin to help me, and he said he didn't know what to do with it all.
Your money on it.
I have another Hollywood that I know.
And he
so.
wasn't going in there.
I'm ready.
Could you
You're
put
asking
it?
the wrong person.
Could you put it on your?
All right,
Could you clip it on your hat?
Ryan, come on in here.
Could you clip it on your hat?
thank you.
Into your shoes.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
If you angle it, I don't
We
know.
are working on it.
How
How about this? It's good.
Also,
Amari Akil? Yep.
just put it where you want it.
If you want to do it the second way again. Okay.
What,
What am I
heard of it,
taking
yeah.
here? Porter?
For sure.
Okay, I cannot guarantee that it's not gonna sink in there. I'm sorry, my outfit choices
Wait,
were.
Backwards.
Which one? I don't mean to be
Okay,
awful, but which one do you
Ryan
have?
took care of me.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah.
Is it a husband wife?
Uh-huh.
No.
One small.
I hear myself more right
No,
now
I
with
was
speakers.
Asking
I know
what she
it's
had.
better.
I was
Right.
curious.
The other secret handshake.
Okay, never mind then. You're good. I don't.
Yeah, you were
have to
I misread.
Secret handshake.
I mean, I would never check it. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm trying to like slide to the side a little bit.
Greetings, people of Earth. My name is Admiral Bonaparte High Stepper, and I am here hosting the second round of the Baron Munchausen 166th annual charity ball here at GAMEHOLE CON. We have already enjoyed many stories, and it is time for one more round of stories to tell.
A final round.
This is the final round.
The fight. Speed round. Let's do some speed.
Yeah.
Howard speed.
Everyone's
Pop
timer's
quiz,
30
hot
seconds.
shot.
till-
Ready.
As much
I
as we can
want
get.
to feel the burn.
I like the burn.
I want an Alperana
The
down.
point of the story
Pete,
is
the
Lynn
Baron would like to
Vander's.
know
Yeah.
how the last time you were alone in a forest that you exploded a bear.
What
All
part
right,
of the
all
bear
right, kids.
exploded?
Buckle up. They recently made a movie about this.
It's called Barbie, correct?
It's called Oppenheimer. So I was in the woods, right? All of a sudden, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't even know what's going on.
Yeah.
Well, I was in Dutchland, the famously landlocked forest.
Yeah. At the
Alone.
time, it was landlocked.
And the ship went by and was throwing bags of cocaine everywhere. And I mean, I had some cocaine, not like a lot of cocaine, but just like a kobold-sized amount of cocaine.
Are you going to correct him about the cocaine?
No, I'm not going to correct him about the cocaine.
Oh, all right.
I could if you want me to. I'm not going to.
Okay.
Dear Seed,
Yes.
I heard it was methamphetamine.
Oh. Put some coins in this cup. Let's go. You can see, I come from a race that is famously known for its teeth. None gone.
It's funny because meth makes you lose your teeth.
I've done so much meth.
We
That
know.
Breaking Bad is like, that's like a kid's story to me at this point. It's like Good Night Moon, Good Night Breaking Bad.
Good night, Matt.
So me and this bear, his name was Reginald Theophilus. And Reginald Theophilus had a meth problem.
He had the meth.
Yeah, I don't have a problem. I had plenty of meth. I mean, it's super easy. Meth, zero problem. But we had these bags of cocaine, and we were usually doing meth, which is bad. Yeah.
Before I give you a round of applause,
Oh.
I would like you to turn this grisly situation to the polar opposite of your story.
Oh.
Did you just say you're going to make terrible puns?
I would like him to make a polar opposite exit to his story,
Oh.
as grisly as it may.
So back, I was in the forest by myself when I was studying to be a monk. And the forest was very quiet, and I was there to see if a tree made any sound when it fell. And I thought that was true because of all the meth I was doing.
All right. I accept
Me
your
and
point.
Reginald
Coin from the day.
from the Dave.
What? You
Dave,
were in
Dave, Dave.
Dave, Dave.
Yeet. While you were in the forest investigating if the tree made the sound, I wonder, having a bear there, does the bear piss in the woods?
I mean, where is it not going to?
No, I need a definitive answer here and why.
You know, where I come from, the bear.
In proper Italian.
I mean, yeah, I agree with you, Lud. I agree with you.
Parole italiane. Orso esta pipi en lativo.
Hey.
La arbo esta pipi.
Did you just speak Spanish and Italian?
La herbo en la me. En la cooking, coca bear,
Cocane.
cocande.
Cocaine.
Cocaine, that's
My
correct.
name is not El nombre este no.
Yeah, you started this
Fantastic thing
motherfucker.
you've done.
Yuffie,
Yes.
could you please tell the story about how you earned the hatred of every Freemason in Poland?
Those
I
fuckers.
can't wait.
Yes, that's quite an involved story that I would absolutely love to tell you.
Well, you have 5 minutes.
I do have 5 minutes to tell you how I earned the hatred of every Freemason in where, Poland?
Poland.
Poland. See, I'm not very good at speaking Polish. And so I was in Poland one year and thought that it would be a great idea to have a house built. And of course, I sought out the regular Masons, but they were unavailable at the time. I sought out Mr. Mason, and he was also not available. I even sought out Perry Mason, and he in Poland. Can you believe that? So my journey took me to several Masons in the country of Poland, and eventually I found the Freemasons, and I asked them if they would build me a house. And can you believe that none of them were interested in building me a house? Because apparently Freemasons don't actually deal in the trade of actually building things. They're all quite secretive with their, I'm not going to call it cult activities, but they're very secretive about the things that they do.
Very 34 degree-ish.
Exactly.
It's very Templar.
Exactly. So I decided that I was going to try to convince them, right? And what better way to convince the Freemasons to build me a house than to become a Freemason myself and use my influence to get them to build me a house. So you wouldn't, yes,
How did you free the Masons?
How did I free the Masons? Well, that is a story all in itself. See, when I went to the Masons, they could not actually build me a house because they were building a house for someone else. And the terms and conditions of their contract under the someone, I believe it was, I don't know, it might have been the King of Norway. I don't know why they were building Norway when they're in Poland. Excuse me. You're gonna make my accent slip, ain't you?
You are the nicest person that I've ever from the bad side of the Pasha end.
Thank you. So anyway, like I was saying, I decided that I would liberate them from the King of Norway because he had gone off somewhere. Rumors abound that he was involved in some. Oh, yes. No.
Oh, I'm just pointing.
Oh.
We're good. We're good.
Rumors were involved that he was involved in some sort of secret love tryst with someone from Italy. Who knows who it could be? And I decided that I would just tell them that they did not have to build a house for the King of Norway anymore. And I set them free. And that wonderful act of kindness was enough to get me inducted into the Freemasons. Wouldn't you believe it? And please believe it. It's very true.
I
Thank-
believe it.
Oh, then I believe it.
Oh, fantastic. I'm glad that you all believe it. However, my freeing of the normal Masons meant that the Freemasons had to finish the build of the House of the King of Norway. And then that made them very angry at me, and I can no longer visit Poland. And I swear that this story is true, or my name is not the most esteemed Lady Euphigenia de Montaigne Bennett.
Oh.
I love you, Yeet. Aw.
I want to be near the pulpit.
No relation.
The Baron would like to hear the story about how
This is
you
Dave.
acquired one of the moon people as your manservant.
Oh yeah, that dude. All right, so we were in
Oh
the
yeah, Jeff the Moon guy.
yeah.
You know,
I got a guy for everything. That's my moon guy. So
I was with Steve.
my crew is very superstitious. So we went to the famous landlocked city of Sydney, Australia, and we met some Aborigines there, and they all had some bare asses. We thought they meant the moon. They meant the moon, if you know what I mean. So anyway, we go to see them, and they're gonna. This particular tribe is, oh.
I heard it wasn't actually the Aborigines, but it was indeed your mother.
Oh. You know what it was? My mom was banging the moon guy. And then I turned out that I had a long-lost brother. And I told him I'd take him under my wing. He'd replace me. He'd be the dread pirate Crunch. And but on our first voyage, he died. He got killed by those Anne Boleyn ladies. And the Lizzie Borden?
Did you just say Roseanne Boleyn?
Yeah. She had a famous sitcom with.
Yeah, that sitcom with
That one
John
guy.
D. Goodman.
Yeah, right.
Gaia.
Yeah, so he was a moon guy too. And anyway, so yeah, my brother dies, his son, and well, I didn't really know how to make it up to him, so I gave him the royal jewels, and then Anne Boleyn possessed his body, and I gotta tell you, she not looking too bad.
It's your brother.
This is my brother's dad. Long story short, my brother's dad and I got it on. And it was hot. And we had a son because it was like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Junior. He took some medication that made him pregnant. And then he went on to be the Pirate King.
Well, actually, I heard that it wasn't like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Junior. I heard it was like more like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Twins.
It was like yeah.
Can I put $1 in there? It was more like the Arnold Schwarzenegger movie Total Recall.
Like the movie Total Recall. No, yes. So see, the whole time it turns out that this banging session I had was all actually part of a program that I was set up to. Sydney is actually very.
You had three boobs.
I had 3 boobs. He felt them all up. I started to lactate. That was a whole other thing.
Now I regret everything. I apologize
Well, you
profusely to all of you.
Yeah, but here's
for
what
this
happened.
activity.
Dave DeVito he had to pretend that he was a kindergarten teacher because he was trying to protect his kid named Duncan from his dad.
Wrong movie.
No, it's all the same. And so he goes there and I lost the thread of this story. Yeah.
Swear that it's true.
I swear it's true. Oh, my name isn't Captain Crunch. No relation.
Just enough time to not explain why it was not a tumor.
All right. Sir Dave the Giant.
Hey, Dane, he wants it.
I would kind of like to hear you chant, anyone else other's name than me and Ian over there.
Anyone other?
Anyone.
The Baron would like to hear how and why it was once you had to fight a duel with yourself to the death.
You see, for a while I was posing as a normal human, not a giant. But in this posing, I got a contract to kill a giant. So I thought the best way of doing it would be to try to attack myself in a public manner. So I got a giant curtain that I set up, that I could stand behind it and pretend to be a normal human size. So I'd go behind it and be like, "Hey, dude, I'm here to kill you." And then I'd run around it and be like, "No, man, I'm here to take you down because, you want to kill me." And then I'd run back around it and be like, "No, you see, I got this contract, man, and I'm only getting paid if I actually kill you." So I'd have to run back around and be like, "No, man." So you see, this went on for a while until they finally believed that I was two separate people, because it took them a while. There was a few times people were starting to catch on, but it worked.
I actually heard that people were believing that it was 4 extra people. Ha ha ha.
You see, because the voice was coming from such a high region behind that curtain, they were convinced there was actually 3 people stacked on top of each other behind that curtain.
Well done.
So I ended up buying a bodysuit and hiring an artist to paint trompe l'oeil on it of 3 people standing up and the mountain behind me. I got very good at quick changes,
Extra
you
points
see.
for Trump Lord.
Yeah.
I was going to correct your pronunciation, but spot on.
I just appreciate that the tales being told seem to run the gamut from ghost hunting to very deep cuts of lore and architecture.
And cocaine.
I believe it was methamphetamines.
It
was all of them.
That's all. Please finish.
Dave.
So it basically ended where I had a tiny little sling attached to my ear that I could wave around a bit and whip it at my face, you see. So I had to whip it and then run around as fast as I could.
Did you
Sir Dave, I heard that the British Museum has your Trump lie coat in their coffers. How did that happen?
Well, you see, after the thing, I actually cut it up into 3 separate bodies and laid it on the ground. That way it would look like it was an epic battle and the 3 people actually collapsed. But when they came to collect the bodies, they realized that how fucking good the art was on it. And they were like, "Man, museum shit right here." And I swear
Exactly what they said.
that that story is true or my name isn't Dave.
Dave.
You're not even saying words, Leo.
Dave.
Got an olive stuck
The
in
Baron would like to know why you claim to be the husband of Cleopatra.
Oh, that's a good one. Thank you for asking. You see, so I've got this friend, you see, and he built these. Okay, I'm not supposed to talk about this, so don't tell anyone it's a time machine, right? So there I was in the time machine, at the pub, of course, because that's where I was. The pub mobile. What?
So I hear this was actually the time machine you get money out of, for all you Midwesterners out there.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
It was that. He builds those. It's very secretive. And I was just pushing the buttons, and it started spitting out money. But they were gold coins, you see. And I brought them to the British Museum to have them appraised. And they discovered that they were ancient Egyptian coins from the time machine, as it were. And so
I heard they were actually ancient Norwegian coins.
they were that. Because you see, perhaps you didn't know this, but Egypt had a great trading relationship with Norwegia. At the time that's what it was called. You see, the Norway is a modernization of the trade.
Oh,
Norwegia.
no. I believe it was originally called Nor-Egypt.
Yeah. It was that.
Sincerely apologize to any
It
of
was
our
that before they
international
broke apart,
viewers.
and I was the cause of that. Maybe I'll tell you later. So there I was at the time machine, and then the British Museum with the Nor-Egyptian coins. Getting them praised.
Egyptian coins.
And they were like, "Where did you find these? We've never seen them before, but we heard about them." And I was like, "Oh, don't worry about that." And they interrogated me a little bit, right? Because, whatever. And they found out that, of course, I was married to Cleopatra because I was. You're welcome.
Because it was on the coins, right? There was
Yeah,
a picture of
my
you
face
on the
is
coins.
on the other side. Her face is on the other side of the coin.
I mean, that's normal.
Yeah. So Jesus.
So I actually heard that your face is on the bottom of a coin purse instead.
It is. Thank you.
How did that come about?
Well, so that was the British Museum. Having the coins appraised, and when they were interrogating me to figure out where I had gotten them, one of the goons took my face and he shoved it into what at the time was a okay. It was an unfinished coin purse, and I was wearing enough makeup, you see, because ancient Nor-Egypt, they wore a lot of makeup, the gold, you see, and so my face got shoved into it, and it was on the bottom of the coin purse forever after, and it's in the museum. And that story is true, or my name. Your name is not Dame Theodora Munchausen the Third.
Do you highly recommend that you are ever in London to check out the Norwegian exhibit? Museum. It is fantastically educational.
Yes, it is.
And quite dirty.
The mayor would like to know how or what you did with the arms
Oh, yeah,
of
sure.
Venus de Milo.
Oh, she wasn't using none, so, So, it was this great looking statue, I was like, oh, but the problem was, I was out there and I was going fishing in the ice shed. I needed something to hold the poles, right? And she had these two spare arms. She wasn't using it for nothing. I just stabbed them deep into the hole, had them hold the thing. It's so easy. I don't know why. Well, what's the actual mystery? Is there a problem with this?
Curious.
Well, he knows now.
And this story is true?
Probably.
Oh.
Anyway, I heard that the arms were pulled beneath the ice by a large fish who then used them to do things with arms.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was Harry the tuna. Harry the tuna. He was so pissed off because he was born without arms, So he would wander around. I'm trying to slap you. He would try to fish slap me all the time, and he's like, I can't do this anymore. So he would just go. I caught him so many times. I just threw him back because he was such a fucking whiner. And when he saw those arms up there, oh my, he just came up and he stabbed him into his side. So he could come up and try to choke the life out of him. Kick that fucker's ass. We had sushi for weeks. Yeah. Why do you bring that around? So,
I can't.
Like somebody's losing hair down there.
I believe this entire story.
I want this
I
to be a
swear to
movie.
God that this story is true.
Oh, your name isn't?
Ud Kalinsky.
Dame what?
I execute sorcery. One moment, please. Dame Winterberry, Council of the 37th Duchess of New Derry Harborside.
Indeed.
The Baron would like to know how you repeated Moses' trick of parting the Red Sea.
I want to know.
See, I was actually going through my memories of all of my adventures throughout time because I have actually had the privilege of being able to be a part of every major part of history. And when I saw what Moses did when he lifted his staff and commanded the sea to part, I said to myself, you know what I would love to do? I would love to walk from my beach house in Malibu to Hawaii. And how do this without having a boat? Well, this is what I did. First, I carved a staff from the finest wood. And I lifted it to the sky, and I remembered the time of my people.
I'm sorry, but I heard, I heard those were made from the arms of Venus to your staff.
Fact, it's a rare fact here that when the Venus de Milo was sculpted, the ceramics that were used was actually not stone, but wood. And it was from a fine birch tree of pure white snow. And so that wood is the exact wood that I went out into the forest and found to carve this staff. And I lifted it to the sky and remembered the time that my people were on their way from the Exodus in Egypt.
I heard it was Norwegian.
From Egypt, which in fact had Norse runes in their pyramids instead of hieroglyphs. So I said to myself, I will remember this forever. And I lifted my staff and said, let my people go to Honolulu. And I parted the Pacific Ocean from Malibu, which is not landlocked. And I walked myself to paradise, where I had a pina colada. Yes.
I heard it took you 3 weeks to get there on foot.
In fact, it was not only 3 weeks, but it was 3 weeks plus what's 3 weeks? 21 days. I can do math right now. Plus 9, 40 days. No, that's not right. Yes, 40 days. And I walked and walked. And as I saw, I heard the name of my many gods, in fact, in my head, and I heard it with great passion. And as soon as I got to that one perfect bar with the long-haired, sun glistened bartender who made me this pina colada.
Actually, I'd love to know what you did when my good friend Gandalf the White requested his staff back after you carved it.
Because it was Gandalf the White, I actually then went into the time machine that I had heard so many rumors about. And I reversed time to make him not only Gandalf the White, but Gandalf the Grey, and then Gandalf the Black.
Oh.
And I sent him down into the volcano, and where his blackness came out into this lava form and formed new islands around Hawaii. And I discovered a new drink, and that is when I was able to document all of my parting of the new parting of the Red Sea, and now has a new path for vacationers everywhere to go to Hawaii. And if this story is true, or my name is not Winterberry Cantaloupe the 37th Duchess of New Derby, Hertfordshire. Just have a drink.
Lena.
Holy God.
You go 30 seconds for the meeting.
Are you actually done with it?
Almost. Yes.
Uh-oh.
The man would like to hear how it was that you, and not Francis Bacon, who wrote the plays of William Shakespeare.
Doth listen to my tales, as I speak only past yonder sun and moon. Francis Bacon was a good friend of mine. You know what I mean? Bacon.
No, I don't know what you mean.
First off, I would like you to recall, as the author of all the plays of Shakespeare, how all of the names, and I will say there are 14, of all of the world's stages, as you know, all of the world's are stages. 14 stage names.
Allow me to begin, although my timing is quite limited.
Yes, let's just be sure to as well to
Yes,
explain.
of course. What else would you like to know?
What do you mean you got down? You knew him well.
Well, I was going to explain that, you see, the Italian word for bacon is ventresca. And ventresca is my secret maneuver. And look, it to be true, you see. And the thing that you must know is that ventresca, the maneuver, was done and can only be done 13 times before urinary. So we decided to pick 13 locations. We picked stage number 1,
No.
midnight, sun of England. The stage number 2, the darkness of Paris. Following stage 3, Neptune, which was quite a distance to get to. Stage 4, we had to use the time machine to go back in time all the way to Egypt. Where we got sand, luckily in our crotch. But then we had to clean it out with the waterfalls, with the unicorns, the general, all the way back in time. Stage 6, 7, and 8 were on the moon. Of course, the various stages of the moon. The sun comes out. And then, of course, Yeats let us use his woods, where we were able to bark up and down a tree. It was quite extravagant. The next stage, which I believe is 9 or 10, was my now 9. The 9th stage was behind some curtain where somebody was trying to kill himself in some weird play. The 10th stage was on a boat, which was always seemed to be ransacked by some ghost. The 11th stage was under the boat in the water with the ice, but his arms kept getting in the way. And of course, the 12th stage is right now, which you all haven't seen, but my misdirection shows you. That bacon is being had.
That you know of.
And so, to conclude, that journey is. Oh, we have another coin.
Yes,
Of course.
Yeet would like to say something.
I just want to hear more about bacon.
You want to hear more about
I'm a
bacon?
really big fan of bacon.
Well, you see, every single one engaged in sizzling and popping. And
Yes.
of course, we started off quite raw until it was crispy.
Yeah,
You know.
more.
The crispier, the better.
Oh, yeah.
I disagree.
But I must simply say that the reason why I was the one
Yeet, hands on the table.
in the Shakespearean way yes, of course, is because it took 13 inspirations to create these plays. And as you have seen and or witnessed, these are true. Well, my name is not Leonardo Lapo of Olivier.
Bacon.
Was that the one you dropped on the floor?
No, it was the other one. I've been keeping track.
This one, if I happen to have the Baron's balls in my mouth.
Bacon.
How about a horn in your mouth?
Whoa.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
Countess, Count Von Count. Yes.
The Baron would like to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
The duel you were forced to fight against a swarm of bees.
Ooh.
It's all the buzzer.
So, yes. So I was. You were going to throw a bee at me. I got it. Yes. Bee. Huzzah! So yes, I was forced.
I'm gonna just give you that for cash.
I was.
This is how the NFL was born.
Like the bee. I was forced to fight a duel against bees. And I don't know if you know how many bees there are in a hive.
At least.
But there is at least one. Ha ha ha. Two. Ha ha ha. Three. Ha ha ha. And many more. If I keep going, I'm not going to have time to tell my story.
You should have spent 5 minutes counting like that.
Baron, we have a special here.
So, ooh, hold on a second.
Very good.
I pause. I have to play by the rules of the game. So, I had to fight these bees, and these bees were numerous. In fact, I was covered in bees. All the bees just flying everywhere. You had no idea where they were flying from. They were, yes.
How did you psychologically deal with a countless number of bees?
You don't. That is why I am the way I am. Ha ha ha.
So you're
It's
telling-
in order for me to defeat the bees, I had to come up with a honey trap. I don't know if you know what a honey trap is, but it's not what you think it is.
I don't know about that one.
You would probably know more than anybody else. But a honey trap is someone that you really want to know how long their lineage is.
Cleopatra was that way too.
Yes, she was. Huzzah! And so were the Norse. Huzzah!
Huzzah.
the Norwegians.
Yes, the Norse Egyptians. My mistake. And so I came up with a perfect honey trap. What better to entice them than a bear that has been exploded in the woods after taking cocaine?
Wow.
I thought it was meth.
No, I think the bear was exploded with cocaine. Everyone else took meth.
Oh, he's on meth. Gotcha.
And so, to set this up, all I did was I called a bear, and I used my two pets, numeral and ought.
Stop.
It's a deep cut. And I had them lure the bear in, and the bees saw my honey trap and went, oh boy, we want a piece of that bare ass. And they went for it, and I defeated the hive. And this story is true, or my name isn't Countess Count Von Count.
All right, General.
Yes.
We'll be telling the last story of the evening. Are you ready?
Sure.
Baron would like to know how you incurred the wrath of the god Vulcan and survived.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, you see, being a general of the Doomacorn Brigade, of the Doomacorn Nation, we make war. Not love. War.
Oh.
Because, contrary to popular fairy tales, unicorns are not, in fact. Oh, look at the bird.
But I heard it was during Panfar.
Dave, big high five, bro. I was there, and I'm super glad that I didn't have to spend money to do it.
Normally, we make war, not love, but during the ritual of Panfar, which is originally a unicorn ritual,
Those damn Vulcans stole that.
we like to fuck. Can I say that? Is that okay? All right, read it. Sorry.
We're in it now.
We're going now. It's all bacon now.
It's an after dark show. You're fine.
Like
Oh,
six times.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, you could just say it again.
That's a good one.
That's good.
That's good.
Can I spend a coin to smack that guy? Low-hanging fruit, bro. Come on.
So, during the Panfar ritual, the unicorns like to do their dance around everything, and everyone's like, oh, the unicorns, they're attracted to virgins. No, we're not. Virgins don't know what they're doing. And while there is no problem with not having the sexual relations with other people, unicorns don't like training others. So during Panfar, they like to have sexual relations with other unicorns that have had sexual relations. And during this particular Panfar, we started using fire quite often. And you see, Vulcan is very similar to Mars and Ares, the god of war. So we're all like, fire everywhere, let's make some weapons. And Vulcan didn't think those weapons were war enough. And we're like, yeah, it's a bit of a struggle if you know what I mean. But they didn't really get it. And he just got so angry, he took away all of our weapons. And we're trying to explain to them by, yes, we have...
I don't know what you mean.
We were using the usual things.
Wait, nope.
Yes.
Not the usual things. Just don't know what that means.
I know what I was getting at.
I need some specific.
Instead of making weapons of war in our forges, we were making weapons of the coitus.
It still sounds euphemistic.
Weapons of
Tell me
horror.
what you're talking about.
The pronunciation is horror.
Horror.
Not
Weapons of
for
horror.
weapons of war.
We were making very long lineages out of metal.
You should have said that at the beginning.
I'm so sorry.
We're making
I
some
didn't mean
lineages.
to make it unclear. But we were making very long lineages out of the metal. And Vulcan came down and was like, why are you making long lineages out of the metal? We're not weapons of war. And we're all like, well, come and see. But he said, okay. So we showed him. And while he was angry for a few minutes, he got better. And I swear the story is true, or I am not General Thunderfluff of the Doomacorn Brigade!
Real quick, I just want to say this.
Yeah, what up?
The idea is that Vulcan came down and was like, stop making dick pics out of metal.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that I understood what you were
I
saying.
think the term is dildo.
Yeah.
We were talking
All right,
about dates.
we're good. We're good.
All right, now what our royal court helps their court?
Yeah, I don't know.
Has taken the crowd. I would once again like to thank everyone here in the audience for donating your time and money to the show. We hope to do this every year, and we hope that you will return to us next year with our royal court. We hope that we the only thing that we is
Tawny's accent.
we also
I tried to share.
Ooh, lucky number 13.
I feel like we need to
You got way more than.
I was
Also,
giving.
You got it?
if you enjoyed our,
I think it's
enjoyed our performance, we also are many of these members of our court are members.
We should stand.
Mind players.
We could try, but our chairs are stuck.
No,
I'm so
Tawny,
big
we need you
and
to
You can
stand.
point with my
Our
sword.
chairs are landlocked.
No, I said stand.
I am very
Oh,
much
that's better.
We play all the way.
Yeah.
We found Munchausen as part of that process. So please be sure to check us out and watch our videos or listen to our podcast.
We're pretty good.
They're not bad.
This will eventually be on our podcast channel as well, so you can relive the memories and hopefully not crash your vehicle. Now, let's begin. Let's begin with you. Actually, Dane,
Yes.
would you present the crown, please?
I shall present the crown because I won it 2 years ago.
All right.
Ooh.
Ah, fuck.
How many coins do you have, dear?
3.
Right. How many coins do you have?
14.
How many coins do you have, sir?
22.
Oh.
How many coins do you have, madam?
28.
28. Well, madam.
14.
14, madam.
17.
17, Sir Dave.
Dave.
9.
Lucky number 13.
13,
18 in it.
18, and Heat.
100.
How many coins do you have in front of you right now?
Hey, roll a bluff check.
I'm going to just quietly count these.
4,008.
Negative 17 is going to be your next answer.
37.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, which means
No freaking way.
the and the queen of the Baron's Ball. If you'd like, you can remove it, Corbin, or we can put this on top of it.
We will put it on.
According to the rules of the game, you now have to buy a drink.
What is that?
Yo, it's just you gotta buy us drinks.
It's in the.
That's actually rules is written.
I mean, I swear that's
Buy you all
And
drinks
my name is
in the
General.
Clarion lobby between the hours of 5 and 6 tomorrow.
A round of applause to
Oh, hi.
Tommy Dawson, Tawny P. Thompson, Ethan Anderson,
No, he was amazing. He's a mazer.
Lucia Lee,
I'm making fun of you for
and
mazer.
Chris Smith as the soul.
Chris O'Neill.
Chris
I'm sorry.
O'Neill.
But I don't. There's such thing as the fat wizard. There's only.
So please, thank you all for coming. The charity ball. Treat yourself.
I chill the fuck out.
Oh, my.
And that's true.
I
Or
swear.
my name is.
Fun box.